Good morning, StarCraft fans. We are in the round of 4 now. We've got Sharp versus Hero as our first semifinal, a Terran versus Zerg. And of course, to help me with the casting today, it's Roman Reigns himself. It is Guy.
Yeah, acknowledge me.
I was actually thinking about who you looked like yesterday. I know who Roman Reigns is. I was thinking, nah, he's got a little bit too long of a hair. But what about Razor Ramon, man?
Razor Ramon? Who's that, dude?
You don't know Razor Ramon? Scott Hall?
Scott Hall?
Yeah, that could be you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I could see that.
I mean, if I grow my hair out.
Yeah, you still got to grow your hair out a little bit, but...
Yeah, well, a couple of years ago, it was long enough to pull off a Roman Reigns, you know, but... I don't know. I don't know which, I don't know what style to go for, man. But let me tell you, I've been knee-deep in the pro wrestling. You should see my YouTube, man.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. Full match. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens wrestling. Okay, let's click this one. 10 superstars who had a disastrous second run in WWE. Okay, let's click that one.
Dang, you got all the related videos.
Sami Zayn makes Roman Reigns and Jey Uso break character. See, I'm not lying. You think I'm making this up in my mind?
Damn, I didn't
Roman admits Brock Lesnar is hard to work with. Damn.
So many videos. Well, we're getting a look at the stats for today's matchup. I'm trying to read exactly what this is. It says something about Sharp in the top. Okay, well, I missed it. We're looking at his run from season 17. Look at that win rate, 75% win rate. He's played every single race also. You know, he played versus Zerg against Action in the wild card. He's played versus a lot of Protoss actually and a lot of Terran. So I guess actually in the actual tournament, this is the first Zerg he's going to face. And what an opponent he's got here because it's versus Hero. And look at that. He's gone through almost exclusively Terrans this season. And it's an almost, well, it says it's a 100% win rate, but it's an 80% win rate. Got some BSL logic going on right there, calculations.
Yeah, well, that graphic's really good. You know, this is going to be a really exciting series here because Sharp has just been playing out of his mind. I think prior to this tournament, many players, many people, including the players from the ASL, would have rated him much lower. But honestly, he just keeps performing super well. And, you know, at some point, you just kind of have to give it to him. He's been playing phenomenally well. And when you look at his games, it's not like he's doing any kind of gimmick or anything like that. He's just playing straight up, super solid fundamental Terran. And he's basically blasting everyone in a season where Terran's been struggling.
Indeed, he has. And this graphic is saying it's been 16 seasons since Sharp has made it to the finals. If he does make it in, he would be up there with Rush as the only people to make it twice into the finals. Of course, Flash has made it 5 times. And then the graphic at the bottom side was saying it's been 14 seasons or 13 seasons since Hero made it to the finals. So it's been quite a long time. We're getting a look at the predictions from other pros. Who do they think is going to win? And you can see, in general, pretty close, 4-3, 4-2. But most of them, they're Hero stands.
Mong and Barracks are behind Sharp there, which is really funny. And Best also thinks Sharp will win, but basically everyone else thinks Hero's going to take it. And I can't blame them. I mean, you still, you know, despite the fact that Sharp's been on this incredible run, you know, you still have to go with Hero here, I think, just given how solid Hero has always been. And to be fair, I mean, I think if there's one matchup that Sharp has had difficulty with, it's definitely versus Zerg. Despite the fact that he did have to beat Action to get his seed in that wildcard tournament.
I think so. I think also when I think of Sharp, the games that did stand out when he did kind of fall short were Terran versus Zerg games. I feel like when I was in Korea, I remember watching him versus Jaedong, and Jaedong was doing very well versus him. I'm not sure if we're going into highlights or something here, but getting a replay of the intro.
Did we even get the intro in the beginning?
I don't know, man. The initial intro kind of threw me off guard. In fact, while you were gone, you were up out of your chair. There was 45 seconds left, and it just appeared. I'm like, oh, we're getting right
Yeah,
into it, man.
Maybe they baited us, dude.
Maybe.
Korean production. Maybe they're the ones that are waking up at 5 a.m.
Might be, man. I still feel like that graphic was a Grim Dawn type of graphic. We got to get back into it.
Yeah, it is. Like with the crystals or whatever.
Yeah, the ether crystals.
Did you get Last Epoch yet?
No.
Last Epoch is incredible, man.
Is it? Well, are you still playing it? I guess is the question.
Excuse me?
Are you still playing?
Huh?
I'm going to take that as a no. It's been, what, a month now? There's no way you're still playing.
What was I playing? Dude, I told you I'm a hell diver, dude.
A hell diver, and how's that going?
That game's incredible. But it's also a buggy mess.
Is it?
Yeah, like nothing's working as intended.
Is it in beta?
I mean, more or less, you know, it's like early access, like.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why then.
Yeah. Yeah.
By the time it's actually fully released, I'm sure they'll have.
You know what? I mean, I was looking at through Steam, and you're right. Red. I mean, I thought Red was trolling about having Helldivers, but then I look at Steam and I like you know, it has the feed of like what your friends are doing in the game, and he's got like achievements and stuff. I'm like, whoa, this. But then again, like Red one time he was like, oh, let's play some Diabolical. I was like, huh?
Okay.
And then we were playing Instagive. I mean, you know what Diabolical is, right?
I know what it is, but I've never played it, of course.
Yeah, we were playing Instagive, and I was just clicking him down, man, and he was like, damn, guy, you're amazing.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think it's just, you know, maybe you need to practice your clicking some more.
It's funny you say that because he's the only person back when he was playing StarCraft 2 that would send me links to, I'm sure you know what that game is, like the target practice link.
Yeah.
He was constantly telling me, he's like, oh, I hit this number. Oh, I did it for 5 minutes or whatever. I'm sitting there trying to do it myself. I'm like, 5 minutes? I can only last like 25 seconds or something.
Yeah, he's an FPS player at heart, man. I don't know what he's doing playing an RTS.
Well, I know what he's going to be doing in the next couple months because he linked me, oh, there's a new server opening for Lineage. I'm like, all right, well, he's a lost cause for the next few months, at least, maybe years potentially. He just
I
can
can't
never
believe there's
escape.
so many Lineage servers, man. Like, there's a Lineage server every other day.
It's a popular game, man. They've got it.
Are they all like Russian servers?
A lot of them are. It's very popular in Russia.
Well, Russians are absolute Chad gamers. They know what's what.
They do indeed. What do you think Caster Park here is asking Hero in Sharp? I mean, Hero's smiling. You think he asked him, like, how easy is this 4-0 going to be? How easy?
Who cares? I want to know what you're going to order on your Papa John's next time.
I got meat lovers this time.
Oh,
after
Jesus.
BSL, I went and ordered it, of course. I was like,
Yeah.
Mom, 50% off. You want to get Papa John's? They're like, yep. Indeed.
Well, I was telling you how I got a frozen pizza the other day, and it was really disappointing. I don't know why I just don't know why I would imagine that frozen pizza could be better than delivery.
It can't be. Unless maybe you get a DiGiorno. Those are pretty good, actually.
I mean, yeah.
Huh?
I'm just waiting for you to get the big sponsorships, man.
You'll know
you're a great pizza seller, dude.
Hey, you want to give it to me 50% off?
You look like you could be a pizza delivery boy, dude.
You know, actually, my uncle has been a long-time pizza delivery guy, so maybe that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a lot of fun.
I mean, it probably is. Just
like, what kind of insane stuff do you see, like, just delivering pizza to people?
I don't know.
Because like the big pizza parties, stuff like that, man. It's always going down, dude. There's always some crazy stuff going down when people are ordering pizzas. I mean, look at yourself, dude.
Yeah. Well,
You're always having a party when you bring up Papa John's.
Well, back in my day, Guy, we used to have this thing called like the Scholastic Book Fair or something or whatever. It was like every time you read a book, you could go to Pizza Hut and get like a free pizza or something, whatever it's called, tiny pizza for kids. That was nice. Those were the days. We're going to look at some of the highlights of how these players have done in ASL 17. Let's get into it. Damn, highlights from all the seasons. Even a clip from season 1 with Sharp in the finals. Pretty epic, man. So this TVZ, it's going to be underway in just a moment. And that's what I was waiting for, the caster screen. There we go. Of course, we've got the green screen set up for Guy now. But, you know, I'm not the IT expert. Didn't know how to get it set up correctly with Discord. But I'm sure we'll get it fixed sometime in the future.
Yeah, I'm also eating a nice chocolatine. That caught me off guard, man.
You're eating a what?
Chocolatine.
Chocolatine?
Chocolatine.
Okay.
You know what that is?
I don't know what that is, actually.
What do you mean? It's like a croissant with chocolate in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the U.S., maybe this is not the same thing, but it's called pain au chocolat.
Yeah, pain au chocolat. Yeah.
That's what we call it here. I've never heard chocolatine.
Well, you know, this time I can't really blame you, Dan. I don't think it's your lack of IT experience. You know, maybe one day we'll get studio lights in here. I mean, Big Jip can barely make his couch in the background, so... And you think he can afford studio lights?
Well, I'm sure someone out there in the Guy stream will donate for it.
No, I'm good. I don't want to set that up. Absolutely not.
You don't want to be a full-time streamer?
Maybe when we get if we get a $10,000 on our on the StarCast Patreon, I would think about it.
Okay, maybe that will happen someday. We're getting a look at actually some of the stats. Didn't actually see it come up. We can see that the win rate for Sharp's TVZ, it's actually almost his highest win rate. 58%. That's pretty damn good. Versus Terran for Hero, 50%. You know, technically his worst matchup, but anything over 50% is absolutely amazing in ASL. I'm surprised at the point system. 12th place for Sharp. You know, even though Sharp's a great player, I mean, that's really high up there. Meanwhile, no surprise to me there to see Hero in 4th. I mean, he's just consistently always near the top. And look at that matchup history. 0-0.
Yeah, this is the first time these guys are going to play face off in the ASL. And the point system, honestly, it's not terrible. Like, I think it's a pretty accurate depiction of how well the players have been doing in ASL. Hero, he is missing that. He's missing that W, man. The fact that he's ranked 4 without any wins is kind of insane.
Yeah, that just tells you how consistent he is if he's that high rated. I mean, you might as well immediately, or, you know, when you have your liquid bet or whatever, or your, what is it, fantasy draft, you might as well draft him every single time because you know he's at least going to top 8 at minimum.
Yeah.
Generally, he's going top 4. And you can see why he gets stopped in the round of 4. It's because he's facing off versus All-Stars here. The only time he made it to the finals was he got through Larva in Season 4. Then he lost to Rain. Then he lost to Larva. And then apparently the Terrans just are unstoppable, losing to Rush twice, then JYJ. And now he's going to be facing off versus Sharp, and maybe now finally this can be his return to the finals.
Yeah, but I remember those series against Rush and JYJ were crazy close, 3-4. And also, I mean, he just kind of dominated Rush, honestly, in his previous... Was that a 3-0, actually? Or no, it was 3-1 because of that game on Troy where Rush basically had like 20 SCVs, 2 racks bust. So that's the only game he won. I think Hero honestly has just been kind of unlucky with, you know, sometimes it just doesn't work out in your favor, despite the fact that he evidently has the skill to make it all the way and to even win. And, you know, personally, he is my pick for this season. I think he might be the new champion, man. Like, if I had to put my money on someone, because here against Sharp, I think he should be favored, and especially his showing against Rush was so good last time. And then, you know, if he meets Solkey or Snow in the finals, Solkey, he's always had a bit of a liability in ZVZ, and I mean, Hero is the best ZVPer in ASL, statistically at least. So, but that's me. You know, that's just me. And again, we've been talking about how Sharp has just been performing out of his mind recently, and, you know, since last season, really. And I think if, you know, there's one season, I mean, this has been his season breakout performance. So, and like you mentioned earlier, also, Dan, clearly Sharp has actually a really good win rate, TVZ. So, I don't know, man.
Even though I agree with Hero, even though I think that he could go into the finals, I just got a feeling that Sharp's going to do something today. I think I actually got Sharp winning this particular series, not because I think he's better than Hero, but I just have a feeling that he's going to deliver for whatever reason. So I'm going going 4-2 Sharp. That's my prediction, even though I think Hero delivered in his series versus Rush. And by the way, that Hero Rush game on Radeon, I was looking at the comments. I think a lot of people were in agreement with what I said, where it wasn't over, man. There was like 6-8 vessels left over. He could have radiated this guy to death. But either way, that was a hype game. If you guys haven't seen it, you should definitely check it out.
Yeah. Agreement with the YouTube comments, man. You know that's always a mistake.
Well, we're looking at how the picks have gone for the map. So we've got Citadel first, huge map. Then we've got Troy second, so we're going to get a Troy game. And our players are ready. So let's get into game 1 between Sharp and Hero here in our first semifinals. Okay, in the top right, we do have Sharp.
And in the top left, the Zerg, Hero.
Right, Terran versus Zerg, man.
Yeah.
Citadel. You like this map for TVZ? I think this is a good one.
Well, I mean, if you look at any of the statistics, especially with, you know, the Korean players, TVZ almost always has a positive win rate, unless it's a map like Dark Origin. That being said, I don't actually think Citadel is very good for Terran.
No, and what makes it difficult? Is it the natural wall, you know, that C showed us? Is that what makes it difficult?
That's a player issue. I don't know. I think the SimCity is just very difficult on this map for Terran. There's a lot of opportunities for Zerg to harass, and I think in the late game, once you get up to 4 base, you know, plus. I mean, it's hard for Terran, unless they're basically winning the game, going SK full aggro mode. It's hard for Terran to stabilize into any kind of, you know, you don't have like a, let's say you split, right, and Sharp goes for bottom right and tries to take 4 base, whatever. I mean, you can't just mass tanks like you could on a map like Polypoid, for example, to like hold, because you don't have that high ground. I don't know, and I think the middle of the map, I mean, there's a lot of paths for Zerg to use, like, you know, Zerg can go here in the top side of the map, through the middle. So in the late game, I think it's quite difficult for Terran, actually, but maybe in the mid game, it's bearable.
We did already have that epic hero rush game again on this map, where again I thought Rush was going to win, but the macro from Hero kicked in after his clutch defense versus the drops. It is a first scout for both sides. Hero's going to see the semi-wall, whereas Sharp's going to get in here and he's going to see the typical 2-minute pool, 2-minute gas.
Yeah, Hero opting to go for the fast lair build instead of something like a 2.5 hatch, and Sharp opening with the wall. You know what's nice though? I mean, Sharp can put on a lot of pressure these days. Terran, they go for that 10 racks. It's much faster, and especially on a wall like this where the racks is facing outwards, it actually decreases the rush time. So you can see, look at that Marine already over here, and Sharp is 100% going to put down a bunker, and that's going to force a couple drones out, and there is a bit of harassment here for Terran already.
And a lot of times when you see a move like this, the Zerg doesn't really care because, well, it's not an 8 racks, man. How fast can it be? But like you said, with the 10 racks, you know, it's something like 8 seconds faster than a normal 11 racks, and that's actually a big deal. That's half a Marine. Ooh. There goes one drone. Second drone, if the second drone dies, that would be amazing. Either way, it's lost mining time. Of course, lost minerals on the canceled bunker. But overall, I would say, oh my gosh, that's an extremely fast second racks also.
Yeah, it's a bit risky actually for Sharp, because his again, his racks is facing the other way, and when you cut that third depot instead of the second racks, you can't continuously make Marines off that one rack. So if Hero had went, but you know, Hero, it's very unlikely he would go for early link flood. So I think this is the right call from Sharp.
Well, based on how many Marines have been built, and how fast his second racks was, and how fast his gas was, seems like he may have been cutting some SCVs for this academy. It's still an sort of an eco academy. It's like a 350 timing, but not sure exactly how much he's cut for this, but I'm just, as a Terran player, watching him build a depot and a academy at 25 does trigger some alarm bells. Spire is on the way, and of course Terran sees it, so he knows that he's not been duped by like a fake Spire into lurkers. And Hero, actually no in-base hatchery, so Sharp is going to have this 2 racks with potential to snipe down this third base.
Yeah, absolutely, but it is hard for Terran to figure out where that third base is being plopped down. Is it going to be at bottom left? Is it going to be at 3 o'clock in the mid left, or sorry, 9 o'clock in the mid left? So it's hard to move exactly where you want to go, and you know, the thing is, you don't necessarily want to pressure that third base, because look, as Sharp moves out, he's going to be getting counter harassed by the Ling potential run by, and then, you know, in some situations, if he goes bottom left and Zerg just sacks it, then Zerg has a lot of counterattack opportunity. So look, oh.
This is a big pickoff, catching the medic. Oh, but fire, look at the medic, it's gonna maybe be saved. No, it's not gonna be saved, but 2 links. He's just, if he's stimming?
His sunks are late. That second sung is, that second creep colony is so late. The mutas are on the way though. I think those are mutas, yeah, well, I think half of them are mutas. Half of them are lings.
Oh, he's focusing the building sunken, because if you can knock it down to 100 health, you can one-shot it once it completes.
That was such a clutch hold from Hero, man. Yep. The one medic, I mean, it's still gonna go down, possibly the sunken, but with just 3 Marines, I mean, he can run the drones away. Okay, that's actually just 2 Marines. He doesn't want to lose any drones, so he still has the micro here and pull back. Okay, 2 drones go down. I mean, Sharp's gonna be happy about that, but then all of these Marines get cleaned up, and now Sharp has to scramble some kind of Mutalisk defense. He has very few Marines now.
He did force out Lings, though, initially from the natural hatchery, which means that there's, what, like... Okay, actually there's more Mutas on the field than I thought. And look at this spread of the Mutas trying to catch the fire bat, but he misses, I think. That's a second one? Yeah, it is, the second one over there. So he misses the second fire bat, and it's actually going to sneak across the map and probably deal some damage to this drone line. Behind this, we're going mine style. This is going to be 3 racks, not a 4 racks, probably into fast tech. And I see that SCV at the top. I gotta imagine that's a factory, but Sharp looks pretty airtight here. I can't really see an opening for the Mutas to do much damage other than maybe pick off these depots.
Yeah, this bunker isn't well placed, though, to cover that second depot. At the same time, Terran might be airtight, but he has no way of putting on any pressure right now, so Zerg's going to be happy here. Zerg has to... Well, let's look at what this Firebat is going to do, because this can do a lot of damage. There's no units here. Actually, it's only 8 health on the Firebat. I think Hero will click on it. No, he... Ooh, the tournament jitters, man. I think in a normal game, he would just click on that Firebat and see it's got 8 HP, just target it down with the drones. But I don't know, man. I think this game state is pretty even, but I kind of like Zerg's position.
I also like Zerg's position. I've been, I played so many games where I make a move like Sharp did, where you feel like you've gotten bow sunkens, you kill a couple drones, but you lose your whole army. In my experience, it's hard to recover from that, especially when you have to build this amount of turrets just to survive because you don't have an army anymore. And the fact that Hero didn't build a third hatch in his main, he's got 3 bases up and running with 3 gas. And Sharp, you can't do anything about it. He's going to try and knock down these Mutas, but these are 11 Mutas, dude, and you only got like 11 Marines.
Yeah, this is 11 Mutas versus, like you said, 11 Marines and just 2 medics, but actually Sharp does make it work. It's only 2 medics still, though, and those medics are using their energy up, so if Hero can maybe provoke another stim, that's another stim right there. Sharp actually is trying to get a couple of Marines out onto the map. Hero did not see those, so potentially they could do a lot of damage if they rotate to the bottom left and start killing a lot of drones, and there's no defensive units there. So this is going to be, I mean, it's going to be a crucial moment if these 4 Marines can get any damage done, because if they can't, Terran's in a lot of trouble.
This is definitely not necessarily a Hail Mary type of play, but like you said, it has to do damage here. If he bleeds off more Marines and doesn't do anything, he's in massive trouble. And Hero, I think he's going to take big losses here. He's even transferring drones, I think, down to bottom left. And that's a stim, and goodbye drones. Oh. This is a lot of drones that are going to die. Also, the Hydra Den is here. If he could snipe that, that would be... Oh, if he can get those drones, he didn't see them getting... Oh, he came back. He's like, oh, you want some?
That's crazy, dude. These 4 Marines are so game-winning. They killed so many drones. They're bringing all the Mutas back. Zerg cannot afford to lose. Honestly, losing these drones is massive, because Zerg on 3 hatch, they actually have very low production. And if you think about it this way, where every single unit is a larva, losing a Muta is not that bad because you're trading it, but losing a drone is pretty bad because he didn't trade anything for it. So as a per larva trade basis, it's really bad for Zerg.
It also lets Terran feel confident to get on the map now. And he's got enough bio that he can actually contest the 11 Mutas. Beforehand, he definitely did not have enough. Now he's got 5 racks production. He's got, at least some map presence. He's got vessels coming. Heroes is not like he's missing his build because the Filer Mound's coming, but he could definitely be under threat once these first 2 vessels come out. Sharp is posturing like he's going to build a 3rd command center. So we're going to actually go into a big macro game.
Yeah, and Sharp's in a really good spot thanks to, tactically he's been playing really well with these run-bys, and, as a Zerg player, it's probably very frustrating to deal with that. Now, double vessel timing, still no irradiate. Hero, these days, Zerg, they're okay with dealing with the radiate on their Mutalisks, and if anything, I think you kind of have to toss them on the Mutalisks, because otherwise the Mutas start, they just keep harassing. But this is a crucial moment as well. Hero has very little defense at his 3rd base. All right, his his lurkers are stacked. And what is this? He went double vessel into double dropship. Super tricky play here from Sharp.
I think Sharp realizes that, hey, you're probably trying to focus on getting your third base back up and running. You may have skimped out on defense on drops, and that's why he's gone for the dropship play. Now, this can be a great move, but at the same time, like you said, it's really fast. It's only off of 2 vessels, so this could be a big mistake if it gets shut down, but it's going to be a game-winning move if it's successful. Now, where's he going with the drop? Is he just going to drop on the natural? I'm not sure if the Mutas saw it.
This is why Zergs have started taking the natural expansion of a main instead of the main as an expansion, because it's airtight against drop. So not sure where he's... Okay, he's gonna drop the nat, but I mean, there's lurkers and defilers right here, but they don't have energy, and that's not a lot of lurkers, and Hero can't really move them. They have to defend the front door. Now, into the main Sharp goes, but the Mutas are coming back in. He's killing a lot of drones, but he did lose all of his units. Well, I mean, still a couple of Marines left over here. I mean, that was a lot of drone kills, but is it enough damage?
Oh, the Dark Swarm comes out, and yeah, I think it was actually a good drop. It shut down the natural, did some damage in the main also. I actually thought he was going to drop behind the lurkers, and we are going to have a 360 surround on the lurkers. Yeah. And I think that could have won the game. But either way, it did good damage. Hero didn't miss a beat, though. He's got macro hatches in his main. He's had Evolution Chamber going for a while. So I think he's kind of close in upgrades. By the way, this is a bio game. You know, this is not Mong. We're not doing a mech switch. But it is going to be a 4th base for Sharp in just a moment.
Hero's playing really well to just stabilize here. I mean, he was under a lot of pressure, especially once those 4 Marines ran past the Mutas in the mid game and killed so many drones at the bottom left expansion. He's been playing a bit behind, and you can kind of see that in his supply. Okay, Fat Plague actually on top of all the vessels and a lot of the bio ball. This is going to buy Zerg so much time because, of course, Terran doesn't want to lose these vessels. He's going to have to possibly repair them, and then his units are also softened up, so he can't really pressure here. All his fire bats, crucially, so he can't do something like D-Matrix and just run in on low lurker count. So that was a really clutch play, because you can see Hero doesn't even have a lurker in position at his natural.
Indeed he doesn't. There's not much defense at all. I like what Sharp has done, which is he's backed off the... Oh, the Mutas are looking for it.
No, it was another plague too.
Yeah, but the Muta, oh, he's gonna miss it just barely. Those are in the center of the map, just completely isolated. But look at the supply, it's 140 to 86. Of course, Zerg can survive off of 80 supply, which is absurd to think about. But there's a massive supply lead for Sharp. In his main, he started to build even more barracks. It's just like a long line of red in his main. How many racks is that? I wish we could find out. Maybe something like 7 to 9?
Yeah, Sharp's playing really well to expand and to keep his supply up, but again, like I was mentioning, I think Citadel is a bit of a difficult map because, well, Terran, I mean, he does have that 3 o'clock expansion that's kind of tucked in, but his mineral only is facing the middle of the map, so you know, once Ultras come out and Defilers, it's so hard to hold that. And then the mid-right as well, like, it's going to be able to be attacked, so I think the longer this game goes, I mean, especially on a pure SK bio composition here, I'm not too sure how Terran can do, but he is getting into triple starport. That means he's going to have a lot of battlecruisers to supplement his attack soon.
Indeed, and I was just thinking, like, wow, dropships would be amazing right now, because if you look at bottom left, there is 0 defense. Absolutely nothing. Zilch. No Scourge, no Lurkers next to the hatchery, no Lings even, and this is quad dropship. This is gonna do a lot of damage if it goes bottom left. If it goes in the main, I think he's gonna get intercepted and they're gonna all be for naught. But here we go, he's going to bottom left. There's a big plague down here, and Sharp is moving his entire army also with it. So he wants to knock down the 4th base and also kill the 3rd.
Yeah, this is going to be a crucial moment here with the drops. I mean, most likely he'll be able to get the bottom left base, the 4th base. And that would set Zerg back considerably, because then Zerg would be on 3 base, Terran's on 4 base, and Zerg has no priority on the map. Here comes the drops, but actually Hero has a bunch of Defilers in position, but he's not casting Dark Swarm, and he doesn't have energy on those. He even had to consume one of his own Defilers, so all 3 Defilers go down. Crucially though, the Dark Swarm does get casted and lurkers are burrowed, so it doesn't look like this hatchery is going to die yet. Hero has more time to reinforce.
Look at that Nidus. I thought he might have been able to snipe the Nidus, but he gets the hatchery at least. Critically for Hero, there's no fire bats in the drop, and kind of just like what happened in the rush game, he's going to get the hatch, but he does shut down the drop, but still, Terran's army is massive, and he's expanding like crazy. This is a 5th base for him. He does have the triple starport, like you said. There's a BC add-on. He just spent his 900 gas, so I'm going to imagine those were for BCs. Hero missed the bottom right base. Instead, he's going to attack mid right, but I think there's some defense. Oh, he's going for it. I don't know if this is going to work.
Sharp's playing out of his mind. He's got 3-2 already finished. Well, okay, this 5th base gets stopped, which was crucial for Zerg because he's really on the back foot here. Of course, Hero, actually, he is staying above 100 supply, and you want to keep an eye on that, because Zerg above 100 supply means they still have a fighting chance. Once Zerg dips below 100 supply, you can kind of tell yourself, well, they're pretty much dead, unless Terran's almost dead, but...
The Scourge, they win bottom left. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's mutas, but these are
mutas.
+3 Marines.
That's a lot of fire bats getting unloaded too. That means he needs to bring lurkers, and actually, oh my god, that's so much supply. Fat Plague does snipe the cavern.
By the way, there was something that happened at bottom left. I don't know if it was a leftover drop or what was actually there, but there was a red dot, which is why you saw the Scourge go over there, and that opened up the main. Ultra is trying to kill this entire army. I mean, it's doing a really good job. It's gotten 7 kills himself. The Defiler Mound is going to survive, and again, the drop does a lot of damage, but ends up getting cleaned up just barely.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lot of supply though, 4 dropship worth of units. But he does kill double Evo Chamber and the Ultralisk Cavern, so that really hurt Zerg. Like, the upgrades, okay, here comes an Eraser, and actually, Hero does not have Burrow Research, so he can't, oh my god, all those drones get completely blasted. A bit of a blunder there from Zerg, because 18 minutes into the game, Burrow is super free, and he could have just burrowed his drones.
There is so much action going everywhere. Every time I look back at what Sharp's doing, like there's vessels, there's dropships, now there's BCs, he's dropping bottom left, he's erasering. It's like he's not missing a beat on anything. He comes back for more irradiates. He's like, what, you forget that I got vessels too? Here's some irradiates to remind you. And he's got a 5th base at top middle coming up. He's basically maxed. If there were mass fire bats in this army, I think the game ends, because there's what, 1 lurker left over, only 1 defiler. Dark Swarm, or not Dark Swarm, Plague comes out, but these are BCs. They got so much health.
Yeah, Sharp's playing insane to put on this much pressure, and I gotta say also Hero is playing out of his mind to stay alive and to keep his supply up, because he's been on the back foot again since the mid game, and dude, this game's insane.
Yeah, there's just no fire bats in the army though, so Sharp's not. Oh, he's actually gonna go. Where's the defiler? Okay, there we go. But he's gonna knock down that spore. Not the biggest loss, obviously. Plague would be amazing here. The bio's so clumped up. I'm hoping that that's an army with fire bats mixed in, because you can't get past the Dark Swarm if there's no fire bats. There's some, but not that many, so I don't think he'll be able to get much damage. Now, one thing about Citadel is, I was going to say I don't think it's that easy to kill the gas, but here he goes. He's looping over the left side, over the dead space, and he is going to knock that down.
Yeah, Terran's putting so much pressure on. I think, well, fire bats, they're not going to bust through this Ultralisk, unfortunately. Zerg's upgrades are awful, man. He's still on +2, and the Ultras have no Carapace upgrade, no speed upgrade, so still a while until they can come online, and the Battlecruisers do snipe that gas. Crucially, that's going to put a lot of, a dent into Zerg's income. Man, I think Terran's just putting on way too much pressure here, and usually Zerg has more time to put down a bunch of spores or just make a lot of Scourge, but look at how gas-starved Hero is.
No, this is crazy pressure. Sharp is starting to float some money, but I mean, it's not really floating because he's got so many bases. He's got 3K, 1K. He's just permanently sitting outside of the Hero's base. Like, you're not getting out, man. I'm sorry. It's just not happening. The Dark Swarms, okay, there's another one coming back. Hero is really clutching it with the Dark Swarms. Here comes another drop. Bottom left is pretty tight here. I don't think that this is going to do damage, but is Hero going to finally get on the offense? He's got 120 supply. There's a decent amount of Ultras. +5 did just kick in now.
Yeah, this is a lot of ultras, man. If somehow Hero survives this and then goes on to win the game, I mean, I don't know what else Sharp could have done. Sharp carpet bombing bottom left, and while maintaining this pressure at top left, that's a lot of Battlecruisers and no response to them. They're gonna just keep up the value, and what's this Sharp doing? Absolutely eradicating bottom left.
I thought actually Hero's gonna hold there. There was a lurker, there were some lings and scourge, but the fire breath, look, it's just
That's it. Oh my god, man. Sharp played out of his mind that game, dude.
he did, he crushed it.
Absolute god.
Absolutely incredible multitask. There was so much stuff going on. Like at the very end when the BC was harassing the extractor, he stemmed 2 Marines in there to snipe Scourge while also trying to snipe the Spore. I'm sitting there thinking like, I wish I could play like this, but if I try and make moves like that, where I'm trying to do something very minor like that, I'm floating like 10k minerals if I'm on 5 bases. I'm just not macro at all.
Yeah, I mean, Sharp, he played phenomenally well that game, and Hero was holding on, man. It almost looked like, I mean, it was very close to Zerg stabilizing and then having that big Ultra Flood that brings back the tempo. But, you know, there's 3 Battlecruisers, then dropships, then the vessel count. Like, Sharp was just playing incredibly well that game.
Yeah, absolutely crazy multitasking macro. Really ridiculous. I was watching, I was like, dude, is this Flash? Is this Rush? Like he's all over the place.
Yeah, I don't understand, man. Sharp, he's really just playing better than every other Terran right now. It's crazy to think. It's really crazy. You're looking at this and he's not doing anything different. He's just playing a very solid Terran style and executing it beautifully. Like just phenomenally well. Everything he did this game was by the book, and his mechanics, his multitask. I mean, I remember watching him play. You know what? Maybe we'll save that story for after this break. But Sharp man, he's just playing so well.
And I like how he has, you know, different dropship timings. A lot of times Terrans do drops after 4 vessels. He did it after 2, and that's why Ultras were so low on upgrades for a long time. Is he sniped that Ultra Cavern when it was 90% done, eliminated +4 the upgrade for a long time. Not that Hero could have gotten out on the map anyways, because Sharp was just perma-camped at his natural, but that was obviously a big pick-off, and like I was saying, big macro, because Sharp had 67 workers, 5 bases.
So look at Sharp checking out Hero, and I think we're going to go into a break here, guys, so we'll be back in just a bit.
And we are back. We just saw Sharp take down Hero in game 1 with really impressive multitask, macro all over the place. But now we're going to be getting into, I think it was Hero's pick. And the second map is going to be Troy. This is going to be what, our either a second or third TVZ the entire tournament on this map?
Yeah, we haven't seen too many. And for the most part, it's not a terrible map for Terran. I'm actually not quite sure what the stats are on that map because most of the time, Terran, I feel like, is probably pretty favored, actually, because of the rush distances.
Yeah, as long as they have some answer to the mutas. If the mutas get control of the game and knock down the assimilators, well,
yeah.
To say you're in a bad spot is a understatement. I mean, you're in a really, really tough spot at that point. But I wonder if Sharp will come up with like a one-base play, or if we're just going to have a normal game. You know, Rush, of course, we talked about it earlier, did that 20 SCV style Marine medic bust, and it worked. You know, it's definitely with the rush distances, he could go for something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to mention how, you know, way back. Way
back. When's way back for Guy?
Well, way back for Guy is like a couple of years ago. Well, like we're talking about 2-3 years ago.
Okay. And what
the
happened?
Game is starting. 2-3 years ago, the game started on Troy. Game number 2 between Sharp and Hero. A couple of years ago, okay, I remember Jaeyoon, StRyKeR, and Cross played a team melee against Sharp. 3v1, dude. Jaeyoon, StRyKeR, and Cross, you know, top North American players. At the time, I think Jaeyoon was actually still playing Zerg. And Sharp just played like an SK Terran against them. And I remember watching his stream, I was just like, oh my god, this guy's insane. His mechanics were out of this world. He was microing 2 groups of vessels, repairing the plagued ones. And I just remember since then, I was always like, damn, dude, this guy's mechanics are insane. Like, how is he not doing better?
Well, all the pros are like that. They're all like a similar level. Right? They're all
not the same.
Let me give you my own team melee story. Okay, so back when C was, you know, a big name on NBC Game Hero, and when he was, you know, interacting with Team Liquid a little bit, me and Rhett played a team melee versus C, and it was a Zerg versus Terran. Rhett macroed, I microed the mutas, and we got steamrolled, man. I think it was kind of a mismatch in the sense that I shouldn't have been microing because not a Zerg player, but to be fair to myself, C at the end of the game said, wow, you got good muta micro, and it's like, well, it better be good when I don't have to focus on anything else other than that. And there's the 10 racks that you mentioned in Citadel.
Yeah, 10 racks actually here without the wall doesn't really make too much sense, because the other part of the 10 racks there's a lot of things about, you know, you don't want me to get into like a nice long rant. There's a lot of things that's nice about the 10 racks, you know, optimization wise, but part of what it has going for it as well is just putting it forward as a wall, and then that shortens the distance even more, and there's some downtime with that 8th SCV, etc. But I mean, look at how close this natural, unfortunately for Sharp, Hero spawn cross map, so this is about as good as it can get for Zerg, and I think on cross positions, like, this is going to be a really good map for Zerg.
He is definitely far away, and that 4 Marine move out shouldn't be as strong as it could have been if he had spawned top right, for example. And we've got a double scout. I guess, you know, this is the map where overpool, 9 pool is very common, so you need to know what you're facing off against. Drone. Okay, it's gonna go back. I guess now. No, is it gonna scout bottom right? It is.
Yeah, and Sharp went for that double SCV scout, so kind of anticipating Hero opening with the pull first. It makes sense. I mean, on Troy, of all maps, pull first can be lethal if they somehow kill your geysers. And well, Sharp's gonna just expand, and this is gonna be a very standard game. I'm looking into Sharp's main. So far, still on 2 depots. Gonna keep an eye out on whether he makes a 3rd depot or not. And Hero, well, he's on that 2-hatch super quick lair. It's actually a 2nd racks from Sharp.
The 2 racks opener. When I saw that additional SCV go towards the natural with already a 2nd racks coming down, I was like, wow, is this going to be a 3 racks on before depot? But no, that's a depot going down at the natural. SCV is going to be taken down by the Lings pretty soon. And interception, almost.
Not quite, though. He will not pick up that Overlord. And he was going to be happy about that. Couple Lings morphed here in anticipation. Actually, that's a lot of Lings early. That's a lot of Lings early, Nyoken.
Yeah, it is.
He's anticipating this move out.
Oh, it's 7. It's 9. Okay. More than I thought. Hero definitely wants to catch these Marines.
Speed's going to kick in a sec. And actually, Sharp has no... Well, he does have a SimCity, but he has... Well, Sharp sees this, man. Yeah, okay. He went to check the natural. He sees the drone count. There's nothing there. Speed kicks in. But Sharp already pulled the Marines back. Oh, but what was that? What was that? The Marines went back up, and now the Lings get a full surround on all of these Marines. It's a huge play from Hero.
Yep, that could be the game-winning move right there. That's all you need in Terran versus Zerg, just an early game trade like that in your favor. And hello, on top of the barracks now with no stim, no medics, no fire bats.
Just like that, and this is what happens when you don't wall.
Oh, did you actually say that? This is what happens when you don't wall? That's my line.
Absolutely. GG. Damn, that is a tilter. Sharp. After that hard won game 1, just gets steamrolled in game number 2 from a basic Ling flood.
He did have the correct read, like you said. He saw the natural had low drone count, and you know he knew it was coming because he repositioned his Marines. Looked like he repositioned them twice. Maybe he accidentally selected his Marine group again instead of, like, for example, selecting an SCV to get it into position. But either way, what a killer timing from Hero there. He strikes back in game 2, and he strikes back in a big way.
Yeah, that was definitely a mistake, like a mechanical error on Sharp's part. I don't know what was happening there. For sure, he didn't intend the Marines to go back because he saw, like, you know, as soon as you go into the NAT and you see only 3 drones mining there, it's obvious what Zerg is doing. And he pulled back the Marines, but then they decided to go back. So I don't know. That was a bit of a missed input, most likely. And Hero is gonna even it up 1-1.
I thought we were gonna go into a break, but seems like we're just gonna go directly.
Best of 7. We gotta play this out, man.
Yeah, but we
can't be here all day.
Yeah, but we gotta get the chair advertisement.
Dude, that was a big break though. That was 6 minutes.
I know they were doing a bunch of. It seemed like they were talking about memorable games because Sharp was talking about him playing versus Best on Polypoid and Sylphid, where if I read it correctly on Sylphid, he thought Best was going carriers, and it ended up being arbiters. And that's a big difference, right? If you're expecting carriers and arbiters hit you. But yeah, that was a really long break. What was it, like 8 minutes or something? But either way, we're going into retro now. And guess what, Guy? You can wall retro here.
Yeah. Can wall all the positions. Ling type, except for bottom right. And that's not the spawn that Sharp got, so he will be happy about that.
Top right. Not only does he get the boosted position, the really good boosting position, he gets the full wall at top right. And retro is a map where you see a lot of players 8 racks. I think we could see it, but I think it feels obvious to me. So I'm hoping that it's not going to be 8 racks. I think maybe you just play a normal game here. I don't even think do a 10 racks either. Just open normal. I think that's the move.
This is a very early SCV actually. That's going to be a center 8 racks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if I was right here. If Hero overpools, then he's thinking like me. If he doesn't, then guess big galaxy brain Sharp right here. Gonna hit him with that 8 racks, and there's no pool, by the way.
Well, this is the first 8 racks of the series, and I mean this is a very committed 8 racks. He's gonna have to basically open with the gas here, and follow up with the factory. So not your conventional 8 racks. I mean, these days, Terrans love to 8 racks just kind of like as a standard opening at their nat and put on a lot of pressure. Fortunately for Sharp, he did not do it this game because this was cross map and 8 racks. Like, the one thing is it's pretty bad when you get cross positions. So,
And this
well,
is full.
obviously, I was gonna say he's also proxying in the middle, but yeah.
I was gonna say this is full eco Zerg. This is a 12 hatch, not an 11 hatch. Hero, sometimes he mixes in additional drones. Luckily not going to be the case this time. It is going to be gas, as you stated, so this is going to be one of the few times where we're going to see a 1-1-1 type of play. I've been waiting for 1-1-1 to make a comeback, man. It's such a powerful build, but you never get to see it. Now, Hero, is he going to diagonal scout? He does, and he will intercept it.
That's sick. That's a sick read from Hero. Absolutely sick. And the thing is, you know, this is a factory follow-up. It's telegraphed because essentially you can't float the racks back in time to keep making Marines to deal with any kind of link pressure. So you have to build a factory in this position. Actually, he pulls all of his drones and really does not want to get bunkered here. But actually, when Terran 8 racks is like this, they don't want to build a bunker before starting their factory. So.
Just had this conversation the other day with Machine during BSL. How many drones do you want to pull versus a move like this? One drone falls, second drone falls, third drone, can he get it? He gets it. That was a big win there. So lost mining time, of course, losing 3 drones, and he only has 2 drones mining in his main. Also, like you said, there's no committed bunker here. So not a waste for Terran. Oh, if he almost got that 4th drone, that would have been devastating. Oh, is he going to moving shot it?
I mean, it's 1 hit away. This would be massive. It would actually be massive if Sharp picks this off, because that would be like a 4 drone count total. I think he's done. I mean, I'm not quite sure, Nyoken, because generally 8 racks in this position would be expanding. But he's actually still on 1 base, so is 3 drones enough? I mean, most of the time you would say yes. But I think given Sharp's build here, he might have wanted more.
Zerg still doesn't know what the follow-up actually is, though. Like, of course, we know that it's tech, right? But what I mean is he doesn't know if it's a starport. Could have been a command center. The Overlord's still not in position. He at least knows there's a Vulture on the map. And by the way, that's an instant add-on onto the factory. I think that this could be drop play. I don't necessarily think that this is 100% going to be a Wraith. We'll see.
No, you definitely want to make a Wraith here. You have to kill these Overlords or else
there's Wraith.
Hero has too much space.
What's the add-on for? Mines? Speed?
Yeah, probably mines.
Probably mines, but the way Sharp has been aggressive, I could see this being speed and just running in. If you kill all the drones and kill the Overlords, that would be double whammy.
Sorry, this is actually like really insane to see from Terran, because it's a huge commitment to get this machine shop. Like, I was looking at this and something felt off. Generally, when you do this opening, you expand after starting your first raid. But he actually got the machine shop and he's getting the Vulture upgrades. For what reason, I'm not sure. Because he's sacrificing his expansion timing. And look at that, he's putting it on the high ground. So he doesn't want Zerg to know that he's expanding. But what are you representing with this?
He's repping 2-port Wraith, man. He's shown 1 Wraith. He's only shown 1 Vulture with no upgrades. I feel like this is a 2-port Wraith rep.
I'm not sure, though, because like 8 raxing in a 2-port, I don't even know if you can afford it.
Dude, is
that well.
Is this speed? These Vultures seem to be moving quick. Maybe that's just their default speed.
That's their default. That's the default speed, man.
Okay,
their bikes, dude. Look at that.
It is their default speed. So it is going to be mines. You see a couple of mines have already been set up. Hero still doesn't know what this is. He hasn't really seen the Vultures at all. He hasn't seen the mines. And we've got add-on onto the starport. I didn't see a science facility anywhere, unless that just went down right now next to the factory. But one thing that I am noticing is doesn't exist for Terran is there's no eBay. Hopefully that's okay, there we go. There's the eBay.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure about Terran's build order here. I mean, it's confusing me, but I know it's confusing Hero too. And what's the point of getting these mines out? Like, I really don't understand. We sacrificed our command center timing just to get mines out. I mean, of course, Zerg, the thing is he's completely blind. He has no idea what's going on.
Yeah, now that he sees the mine, he knows that Terran rushed into it, obviously, and now there's no longer the threat of 2-port Wraith, because you can't afford 2-port Wraith plus mines, and he may be thinking like, okay, I've been duped, he probably expanded behind this, but he still doesn't know about the Cloaked Wraith on 1 port. I think the Cloaked Wraith is going to be interesting. He's probably going to go into like 3. 3 is decent DPS, can deal a, you know, somewhat decent damage to also Overlords if he gets speed on them.
Well, what's scary for Zerg is that, you know, once his mutas go out onto the map, dropships become a problem, so I think he's anticipating the possibility of that. This one Overlord will get picked off. Actually, okay, Cloak does get revealed, and now Hero knows exactly what he's playing against. Well, I mean, he doesn't really, but he sees only 2 Wraiths, so, like, what else could Terran have done other than expand and have 2 Wraiths with Cloak?
I think this is a really interesting build from Sharp. Behind this, like, his econ's really good. He can scale into his tech now that he has these 2-port Wraiths to keep the Overlords at bay. And, okay, actually, I thought those mutas were out in the center at mid-right. Oh, he's going to catch a Wraith. A little bit low on energy there.
Yeah, that Cloak runs out.
Was it a bait? Did he have Cloak on? Did he have energy all the time? Like, that's a lot of it. What?
Honestly, I feel like if I'm Zerg, I'm just completely baffled as to what was happening. Like, given the information that Zerg had this game, it's really hard to identify. I mean, especially in a tournament environment, maybe Hero is just that experienced and that good that he knows exactly, you know, after seeing, you know, the mines, seeing the Wraith count. Oh yeah, of course this guy just delayed his command center to screw with me. I mean... I don't know what kind of player would think that way, but this Hive is incredibly fast. Actually, and he got the Evo Chamber very early on, so he's basically playing like a pseudo crazy Zerg style.
He does, yeah, the Evolution Chamber is done already, so I'm sure +1 armor is close to being finished. Here's gotten up his 3rd base, but Sharp is going to have a slick timing with a tank push. There's also, there's a queen in there. Is this for Broodling? I guess he may suspect that a tank push could be coming.
No, it's for Ensnare.
Ensnare? Well, what's going to kill the Terran army?
Well, you know, nothing, but he saw the Cloak Raid, so... And I'm not sure if he knew whether it was 2-port or not, so he went for... I mean, it's good. It's a really good... It's good for the Wraiths in case he made more, and it's good to just use on top of the Bio Ball when he's getting pushed.
It is going to be crazy, Zerg. There's the Ultralisk Cavern, but Terran's push is going to be quite fearsome. There's an Irradiate. What was it on? Okay, it was on a Muta. Oh, it's for Parasite. Okay, Parasite's great. It's definitely underused, especially in early game scenario like this where it's very critical that you know where the army is.
Yeah, and it's so annoying because now Terran has to upgrade Restoration. I mean, it's a very cheap upgrade, so you don't really care about it, but yeah, for now, he doesn't want to keep the Vessel out because it's giving Zerg vision. And I mean, this isn't quite crazy Zerg. He did go for that Lurker upgrade, but, you know, in general, when Terran's doing this type of high-tech play, their upgrades are really late, which is why you see the Evo Chamber, which is why you see the Ultra Cavern so early on 3 base. Usually Zerg wants to get to 4 base before doing that. So it's a kind of pseudo-crazy Zerg, right? And I think Zerg's in a really good position here. It's so hard to deal with this as Terran, and Terran's push got delayed by that Parasite.
That's the big thing, is now Zerg is definitely going to have their +4 armor, or very close to having +4 armor. Whereas Terran, yes, I'm sure their +2 is, you know, going to be close also, but delaying this tank push is a really big deal because there wasn't really much to stop it other than the 7 mutas and lings. I don't think there's lurkers at all either, even though he has hydras. The Scourge, they're just gonna go kill that vessel.
Yeah, I don't know what it's doing over there.
He sees it.
Oh. Alright, so he's gonna... Oh my god, that was so close. One Scourge connected, but the second did not. I mean, it's really, you know, as soon as you get parasited, I think you gotta just research restoration.
For a second, I thought he was actually gonna save both the race, but ends up losing one of them to the Scourge. Now, Terran's army is not that big. Like, that's just two groups of Marine Medic. He is going into Bio again, of course. He's got double eBay. His tank is there, but unlike the game on Citadel, the Econ is not nearly as good as it was. So Hero, he's really crushing it this game. He's within 20 supply, and that's without Ultraless. I'm sure it's going to explode in just a moment once he uses that almost 1,000 gas.
Oh my god, he just loses one vessel, and honestly every vessel here is super important because he's basically been on one starport for most of this time instead of the usual double starport. You know, we saw a tank get built but not used, and actually he's starting to build vultures. That's a lot of racks to have off of 2 base. I mean, he knows this is kind of a pseudo crazy Zerg style, but I don't know, Nyoken, you were right about Hero not making lurkers, which is really good for Hero. That means he saved that much more gas. He's going to have that many more ultras. But that's a lot of Marine Medic from Sharp.
That is a lot of Marine Medic, but unless he gets plus 2 to deal with these +4 ultras in a moment, which just kicked in, by the way, you don't want to be on the map down and upgrade versus Crazy Zerg. That's for damn sure. So if he moves out here and +2 is not close to being finished, well, Sharp might be finished because there are some ultras out in the field and they are not going to die. Well, that would be juicy. That would be juicy.
Sometimes the lings do kill the mine before it explodes too.
Huge attack at top left though. Look at this. He's drawn a lot of the lings out of position. He's looking for, I guess, the 4th base. He thinks it's top left, but it's not there.
Yeah, Terran's game plan here is pretty straightforward. It's actually a greater Spire. Terran wants to just deny this 4th base. As long as he denies a 4th gas from Zerg, okay, he even made Guardians and just kind of is sitting there with them.
I think Guardians are really good on a map like this because there's a lot of water and the Marines are just going to bug out, like if the Guardians get in range. And then, well, guess what? If Marines aren't shooting the Ultras, well, it just makes the Ultras even stronger. This is an interesting follow-up. You know, I've theorized going Bio into Vulture play, but, you know, I don't have the multitask like Sharp, so it never ends up working for me. But in theory, if you can lay a bunch of mines, draw the ultras into them, and, you know, get a free 125 damage, like that's a huge amount of damage. That's a quarter of the ultra's health.
Yeah, he's gonna try and make that work. Well, you know, crabs like living by the water, so
they do. That's why you see him just patrolling around like this. He's not committing to the center of the map.
They're checking the rivers out, man.
Yeah.
They're trying to make a new home for themselves. The Great Guardian Migration. Wow. And, well, this is going to be a really crucial timing here for Terran to deny this 4th base. That's a lot of ultras and not a lot of vessels from Terran to radiate just yet.
He's just countering them. I think he's countering. That is so many ultras. One thing I was about to say is I don't see any defilers. So I don't think the ultras are actually that strong, but if you can get ensnare, which you talked about earlier, he focused on the first queen, 1 ensnare goes off. But there's still a ramp here, and this is gonna, you know, funnel in the ultras where they're not gonna be able to engage that well.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what Hero was doing here. Like, you mentioned maybe him going for a counterattack. I thought that was a really good idea. And he also tanked all the radiates with his Guardians, which is ideal as well. You don't want that on your ultras. But coming here without splitting his army up, fighting on this ramp, well, you know, these units are gonna go down for sure. Here comes a lot more ultras from the side, but are they though? Because that's a lot of Marine Medic.
Well, it is still +4 armor ultras, and all the vessels are going to die, and the entire Marine hull is going to die.
Target fire.
And this is a massive win. Oh, wow, he actually saves all the vessels. I can't believe... Oh, well, he saved some of the vessels, saved 1. but he loses his entire army. This is the power of +4 Ultras. Even if you're even in upgrades, you've just got to have an overwhelming amount of Marines to win the fight. Now, Zerg, yes, they lost their 4th base, but Terran's, we're 17 minutes in the game. He's about to be mined out in his main, and he does not have his 4th base fortified, or 3rd base even.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that's going in Terran's favor is Zerg is still on 3 base, 3 gas. So if somehow Sharp can stabilize, yeah, +5, and I think Terran's still on +2, so that's going to be a massive power spike here.
Well, it is a massive power spike, but those Ultras are getting mowed down. The Scourge, some of them connect actually, but Hero just lost a ton of Ultralists. That was a big commitment. Terran, of course, doesn't have a huge army. He is up 30 supply, though, almost 30 supply. Critically, the Lings have upgrades also now with the plus damage. You know, Ultras plus damage doesn't really matter that much, but Lings, of course, really do matter. Terran is trying to mow down this single Ultra, and we'll finally get it. Big mine hit right there. It looks kind of like Hero's running out of steam. He doesn't have much gas left over.
Yeah, that's the one problem Zerg has. If he had a 4th gas going, he could supplement this Ultra's production, but you know, given the current game state, Zerg's kind of running out of gas. I mean, literally and figuratively.
It's like a UMS engagement right there. Marines just mowed down everything. Mines are set up. There we go. Big hit right there. That's 125 damage immediately. That Ultra's going to die. That Ultra takes another big splash hit. Now, what Sharp needs to do, if he wants to get back in this game, is 1, he needs another base, and 2, bottom middle has to be shut down. He can play 3 base versus 3 base, but if 4th base gets up and running, he's in massive trouble, and it looks like Hero should be able to get this secured.
Yeah, Sharp's actually been using these Ultras really well, and it's super hard to do that. It is just one factory production, too. Doing a lot of harass, placing a lot of mines. The mines aren't like the most effective. Okay, another parasite, but restoration was researched earlier. Yeah, it's hard to say, really. This game's still a bit up in the air, but it looks like Hero's going to go for another engagement here. Some ensnared Marines, some irradiated Ultralists, and all of these Ultras actually go down. Not the best trade there for Zerg.
Zerg is killing a decent chunk of Marines, but every time it's for Ultras. And, like, he's attacking, right? But there's only 1 Ultra. Well, there's 2 Ultras, I guess, technically. Now, this was definitely a good trade. As the Ultra led the charge, the Wings killed everything.
Oh my god, that's crazy. And Terran's basically broke. He's mined out at his main. His Nat is close to being mined out, most likely. And this is where it's very hard for Terran, because it's becoming low eco. Sure, Zerg has no gas income, so he's maybe trickling 1 or 2 Ultralisk at a time. But when Terran's not max, when Terran's not on that big Marine count, that infinite Marine count, 1 or 2 Ultras is all you need. You know, we see all these Lings just connect on top of the Marines and eradicate them.
You're just relentless with these Ultras. I thought, you know, maybe 1 to 2 Ultra attack and not working would eventually cause him to stop attacking here, but he's just relentless with it, even if it doesn't get, you know, super effective trades. Well, this one is, by the way, trading very well, and the past couple have traded very well, but even if it doesn't trade well, it buys him time to get these bases up and running. Like, his 4th base is at least complete. He's got all the bottom right up also, and we may see the GG in just a second, because it's just endless blue attacking top middle, and Sharp, he's transferring all of his SCVs here. He's not mining.
Yeah, this game's over now. You can see Sharp plummeting in supply, going below Zerg, and honestly, this game was really close. I mean, I think Terran almost stabilized, but didn't quite get there. And Hero just playing so well, dealing with Sharp's shenanigans this game in immaculate fashion.
Some Ultras are going to get mowed down, but supplies are in favor of Zerg now, 85 to 70. Like I said, Sharp's not mining. He's had this command center at mid-right floating for like 5 minutes now. If he could have just gotten that up and running, he definitely had a fighting chance in this game. But Hero, wow, what a good job he did upgrading his units, responding to the weird opening of Sharp, shutting down the big attack at bottom middle, doing a good job to get rid of a lot of the vessels. And now he's on the brink of going up 2-1 in this series. Sharp finally gets to land this base, so he's at least started mining.
Yeah, but it's too little too late here, and completely broke, behind on supply, especially against Ultras, is never good. He does have 5 vessels, but that's just not good enough, and, you know, Sharp probably thinking about the next game. But he definitely has no chance in this
Where's
one.
that queen, man? We need to infest that command center.
Yeah.
Can't let that Terran get away with a burning command center. Well, this is most likely going to be the last hurrah for Sharp. He's got a pretty big army, but it is down 40 supply versus Zerg. Zerg also has multiple Sunkens coming up. It radiates well, you know, they can be good versus Ultras, but also kind of just allows them to AoE your Marines. Not going to have an engagement, at least not just yet. There's so many Ultras.
Yeah, so many cows, indeed. That's going to be at Sharp GG's. Hero takes game number 3.
What do you think about that opener from Sharp? You a fan even though it lost, or?
Absolutely not.
Well, I like that build actually. I'm a big fan of builds that are like finesse based. That's definitely like a finesse type of build. I can see the idea with the race and the vultures and the marines, but I feel like Hero just had the great counter. Like going straight ultras was amazing read from him.
Well, you know, that's pretty standard against 111, the fast Evo chamber into ultras, because again, 111 just so much gas into the tech really delays your upgrades. But I mean, I just don't understand. I'm a fan of that opening, but I don't understand why we built a machine shop just to get mines out before our command center. It's not really.
Well,
I guess it's safe against a super all-in, like maybe early Hydra attack or something like that, but it's so unlikely that Zerg would do that against what you're doing.
Well, I think he also lost his SCV, right? He didn't necessarily know what was coming. If it's a Ling Flood, you've got the Vultures. If it's a Hydra Flood, like you talked about, you've also got the Vultures. But if you're going to go Wraith and immediately kill the Overlord, right, then, you know, it's kind of risky for Zerg to do an all-in like that because they don't have vision of potential mines. But either way, I think the idea was pretty cute. You know, we saw something similar from Mihu yesterday in BSL. We're looking at how this game unfolded. Of course, this is the major attack here. The game-deciding move, I guess, eliminates the entire Terran army. Terran saved one of the vessels, but he needed to keep, I guess, at least all these alive so he can at least irradiate the Ultras in future attacks. But now with them gone, what could Terran really do? By the way, Sharp had amazing focus fire right there. He eliminates all the Scourge, but hello, there's 2 more.
Yeah, that was a key moment there for Zerg, just eliminating the big Terran army and trimming the vessel count. Hero's going to be happy with that. Does take the lead in the series 2-1. I think we are going to be getting into a break, possibly, or
could be the chair.
Yeah. Well, we'll be back in a bit, guys.
Oh, there it is. The chair.
Oh,
it's chair time.
Oh, it's the chair promo time.
Which means
that's
I'm here now. So, these games have been quite exciting so far. Of course, cast brought to you by one of these. Yeah, there we go. StarCast. You guys like the ASL and you like the content StarCast is creating, consider becoming a Patreon supporter. You can see it down below here. StarCastTV. We also have our StarCastTV Star League, which is ASL Junior basically. We've got international event coming up pretty soon where international players are going to be playing pros. In fact, there's 2 of them. First one's already done, second one's in the process, and third one should be coming in the near future also. And also, of course, I did BSL yesterday. Those were some epic games, man. If you guys out there have not seen BSL, you should definitely take some time out of your day to watch Oyuji Boa on Radeon. That is one of the games of the year. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was something.
That was something indeed.
Yeah,
indeed.
That was like 1999 StarCraft.
People are going to be watching that and be like, what is Nyoken talking about? Why did he recommend this game? You'll see. You will see.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, what do you got planned today, Guy, after ASL? You going to go to sleep afterwards?
I'm going back to sleep.
Okay, well,
I woke up
that...
at 5. We had an APL yesterday, and we ended up finishing around, what was it, like midnight, I think? Or at 12:30 or something like that, like midnight. And then I went straight to sleep, well, kind of. And then I woke up at like 4:45.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I also have days like that where I go to sleep late, but for whatever reason, I'm not tired. At like 5 in the morning, I just wake up.
Oh, I'm tired.
Oh, you're tired. Okay. Well,
don't get me wrong.
Yeah. Well, you had some interesting games before I went to bed. You had Artosis first up. I missed the second series, but there's also a crazy game between Hawk and Jimin. I thought Hawk was mega dead. Then later on, I see supplies are even. Both players on 3 hatches. There's a
so you're watching, man. You were watching all the time. They were waiting for you to come play.
I know you're waiting for me to come play.
Yeah, we'll be waiting a long time.
You will be waiting. You gotta change. If you want me to play and it's an ASL day, you gotta change the time, man. It can't be 9 p.m. It's gotta be like 9 a.m.
Yeah, 9.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. You gotta talk to me. You gotta carry this conversation. My brain's like turned off.
Well, you were talking about last epoch earlier, and I was talking about how these graphics look like Grim Dawn. You know, actually, there's a
yeah, there's this ARPG.
Yeah, there's this...
You remember I was telling you how you tried to... Oh my god, I was telling you how you tried me to try to get me to play Lost Ark, and then you ditched me. You bailed on me.
I don't even remember that. But
absolutely.
But anyways, you got lucky because we're actually going into a real commercial now, which means we will be back in just a few minutes. We are back. We're about to get into game 4. Hero has taken the lead in the series up 2-1. Next map is going to be Dark Origin. It is imperative that Sharp wins here, because if he goes down 3-1, it's going to be really hard to come back from that deficit. You're going to have to win 3 straight, and I think versus someone like Hero, that's almost impossible.
Absolutely. Well, if you lose, you lose, you know. Gotta win the win.
It's that simple. You got to win to win. You heard it here first.
So how's the 24-hour, how's the full-time casting treating you, man? You have more what'd you do after BSL yesterday? Did you cast some more?
I did absolutely nothing. I sat in my chair and just chilled out, man, because I had been casting from 9 o'clock to 11:30. That was StarCast. Then I ate some Popeyes. Then I did some BSL for like 4 hours. Then I ate Papa John's. And then look at that.
Jesus
I've got Papa
Christ.
John's just in time for the Artosis stream. You know, the dream scenario. I'm just all ready. Watched some of that. Saw some Napple.
What did you order from Popeyes? Like fried chicken or something?
Yeah, fried chicken.
That's all Popeyes is. I never do. I don't know. There's no Popeyes in Quebec.
Okay, well, it's good. Like KFC, man.
Honestly, I've never eaten KFC.
What?
Like maybe once or twice.
You're kind of like Machine. Like when I told him, like, hey, let's go get some Popeyes, he's like, I've never been to Popeyes. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah, but because Machine's not a degenerate, man.
Oh,
he's the ownage for a reason.
Well, you don't know Machine. You should check some old EG videos from the EG house. Where do you remember the? Well, you said you don't eat at KFC, but they had this something called the Double Down, where there's no buns. I don't think it's just chicken. It's just chicken. It's a chicken sandwich, but the chicken is the buns, if I remember correctly. And he ate like 2 of those, 2 Double Downs. So he's the degen, not me, man.
Was that when you were living there too?
Yeah, I remember him getting it and doing it.
Yeah, that was that seems like it was a degenerate house. You think I would have fit in, or was it even? It's just too crazy, dude.
It was good.
Was Skew living there too?
No, Skew lived in Arizona, but he lived like an hour away. I think the highlight of my time there was Skew came over one time, and I had some Baby Ruth bag in the refrigerator, and he finds the bag, and he's like, "Do you have a candy drawer?" I'm like, "Yeah, I got a candy drawer. Who cares? I just eat a snack every now and then." I wake up the next day, I come out to the computers, and he's got like 10 Baby Ruths sitting there. That's his breakfast. He was making fun of me for having a Baby Ruth bag, yet he's the one binging on Baby Ruths 10 at a time.
Okay, but here's the thing.
Okay, hit me with
what's a Baby Ruth?
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm getting trolled. You have to be trolling. It's chocolate
Half
bar.
the time I'm talking to you, I gotta like Google what you're talking about, man.
Chocolate with caramel and
dude,
peanut.
You're so American. It's just, you gotta understand, the world doesn't revolve around you, dude. There's things that aren't American in the world.
Okay.
You think we all know what Baby Ruth is?
Of course. Everybody knows a Baby Ruth.
I'm looking at this and it's just American candy bar. Looks like a budget Reese.
Well, it's good. I recommend trying it at least. But we're in the game now.
There's no Baby Ruth anywhere in the world, man.
Okay, maybe it's just an American thing. I don't know. I only lived in America and, you know, for a little bit of time in Korea. Well, where did Sharp spawn? Did he get bottom right? He did get bottom right.
Was Sharp on STX?
No, he wasn't, right? He was on Samsung.
Oh, wait, that does sound right.
Yeah,
wait, Hero was on... Wait, no, Hero was on NBC, right?
No, Hero was on STX.
Oh, really?
Yeah, basically...
I don't know, man. People still live in the past. I still don't understand. I mean, you know, don't get me wrong. When I was... I remember watching all... You know, I remember in like... I just remember watching every VOD ever of like, you know, Kespa games. When I was a wee young lad.
Yeah.
But I don't get this obsession, man. I mean, it's over 24 years ago. or 14 years ago. Sorry, that math didn't. It's over. It's gonna be soon. It's getting close on 20 years ago, man.
Yeah, but maybe that was their favorite team back then. They're still repping.
You're still talking about Skeleton and
yeah.
V Gundam and
V Gundam, because somebody's got to remind.
I saw Tasteless. He had a video about he was watching Garimto versus Elki VOD.
Do you even know who those two people are? Do you even
Absolutely.
know that Elki's a foreigner?
Yes, absolutely. I watched a Poker Stars video with him the other day.
Oh my god, you know him from poker.
No, I remember he played some game versus Boxer. They both made Goliaths and drops on that Estrella map. I remember watching that Boxer versus Garimto final. All right, I'm well versed. All right.
Okay, well, this is actually a different opener from Hero here. It was not the 2-minute gas. It was about 2:15, which means this is going to be the 2.5 hatch style. Whereas, once again, this was another 10 racks from Sharp. He's really loving this opener. And again, this looks like it could be another bunker rush. First Marines already here. Oh, is that actually a command center? I didn't actually check his money. I mean, it'd be crazy if it's not.
Yeah, no, he has to. It's a bit too late to bunker here because the Lings already started. But this SCV, you know, this is another part of this that's really strong for Terran. Terran has full vision right now, and he can keep rallying Marines. So if Zerg ever undermakes Zerglings, he's going to get pressured. But nowadays, I mean, Zerg's kind of accustomed to this style, and they almost always go for 4 Lings. And with 4 Lings, Terran can't really put on too much pressure until they get up to 4 Marines, but then it's very committed if they do that because they got to get a 3rd depot, etc. But actually, the SCV goes down.
Well, Gypsy, this is my build, man. Is this me?
Oh my God.
Am I playing in the ASL? This is a factory. This is not an eBay. This was a 245 gas for Sharp. When I saw that gas complete at 310, I was like, holy smokes. Now, this type of style, you know, in theory, I used to think like there's no counter to it, but the more I played it, the more easily I got countered. It's very light on Goliath. I'm curious if it's actually going to be a Goliath play or if it's going to be straight into Vessel. Remember, I did say it was a 215 gas, so it is slightly later than
It's going to be a Valkyrie build, man.
You think it's going to be Valkyrie, not Vessel? It could be?
Yeah. He's building an academy.
Okay.
Come on.
Well, I mean, you're going to have a Valkyrie out in time for the mutas, but it's just going to be one. Valkyries can be extremely... Whoa, what's that? Is he gonna... There's no way he's proxying something up there, right? This is just gonna be a block.
No, I think he's just scouting for the 3rd base.
Okay, there's the starport. Another building did go down next to that academy. I think you're right. This is gonna be the Valkyrie play. It's not gonna be Goliath. I was kind of hoping to see some Goliath, just simply because we haven't seen it in, you know, seasons upon seasons. I think the only player that attempted it was JYJ, and I think both times he tried it, he got slammed down.
Yeah. It's kind of rare that you see. I mean, it was trending... well, last time it was trending, it was on that Ultimate Stream map, and that was when Flash was playing, so... Well, was it Ultimate Stream or whatever that map was, you know, one of the blue maps with the high ground expansions?
Yeah, I can't remember exactly. It could have been Hidden Stream or Ultimate Track or whatever it was called. But
we can make these names up, man, and kind of predict the name of the next map.
Well, this was kind of an interesting move out from Sharp. Like, he didn't actually commit with this, but he showed like, hey, dude, I've got a 5-minute medic. This looks like a normal opener, but it's actually a Valkyrie follow-up, and I think this is kind of going to throw Hero for a loop. So I don't... If he builds Scourge here, I would be very, very surprised. I think it's just going to be the 7 mutas. There's 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, and the turrets are going to be perfectly timed out here. I guess he must have seen that this was a 2.5 hatch build because he slightly delayed his eBay just in time. Because if this was like a just normal 250 layer, like the turrets were way late, but as played, looks like 7 mutas. Hero's gonna take his tax here, 3 SCVs down.
Big deal.
This is a lot of pressure.
Yep, and this is one of the downfalls of this build is even though you go... He's not building a Valkyrie! Where is it? Oh, there it is. It's already completed. I was like, dude, there's no way you rush Valkyrie and then didn't build it. So he does show that, hey, I actually rushed tech. But he took a lot of losses initially. And, you know, Hero doesn't have to commit to mutas anymore. He could just go Hydras.
Yeah, Hydra, well, 630, Hydra Den, Queen's Nest, super fast. And that was a lot of SCVs to kill. He's killed 6 SCVs. For no damage on his mutas too, which is crazy. Now, Terran with this Valkyrie build, the second Valkyrie was delayed. Everything's kind of delayed. Like, generally you want to be on 3 racks. I don't know what happened with Sharp's build, man, but it's jacked the heck up, man. It's usually you have 3 racks already pumping. And the strength of this build is just going for a big sunk bust with the Valkyrie timing. Like, there's this time between now and when lurkers pop, and that's when the Valkyries are strong, but it's coming up because 630 Hydra Den is super quick. Terran's got to put on pressure or be behind.
This army's tiny. I'm thinking like there's no way you can fight. He backs off. First Valkyrie immediately blown up. Mutas blow up everything else.
Absolutely trucked.
Yeah, this is one of the downfalls of this build is you're, like you said, where's his racks, right? Well, the problem with going Valkyrie is Valkyries cost 250 minerals, man. That's like 2 racks by themselves. It's extremely hard to manage the eco. I also noticed when we got an initial glimpse of the natural, Sharp had, I think, 7 SCVs in total on the mineral line. So his eco was really not that great, maybe because he rushed the academy so fast, but that was absolute destruction from Hero. Completely obliterated that opening.
Yeah, that was a tragedy, man. That's the kind of game I think Sharp wants to stick his head into the ground and never come back up, you know, just pretend that never happened. I don't know what happened with this build order, but that was not it. And you could see just everything was kind of flimsy, and Hero just completely smacked him down. And now Hero, he's up 3-1.
Completely in the driver's seat. And Sharp, who looked so good in game 1, well, everything's falling apart now. You know, I'm kind of thinking along the lines of what happened to Mini, right? Like Mini in the first 2 games in his series owned it. He was crushing. Now Sharp maybe getting a little bit too fancy back-to-back, you know, tech-based builds, getting completely owned. Maybe he needs to just go back to his normal play. Just get your big eco, try and play a macro game.
Yeah, I mean, in the first game, he looked so good, but...
I think that's saying SC, by the way, right there. I could be wrong, but it looked like him there. So he's out there. And we've got more foreigners from the UK, man. Really far away.
Jeez, man. It's really unfortunate here for Sharp because he looked really strong in the first game, and then games 2, 3, and 4 are like just really kind of looked like his old self. That's what I would expect Sharp. You know, if you would tell me, if you would give me this if you would give me this series in a vacuum, right? Like before Sharp's amazing run this season, I would say, yeah, this is pretty much how it's gonna go. Like, Sharp's just gonna get trucked, and I still don't understand that opening that he did on Retro, and then, you know, on Troy, just losing to a Ling Flood that he just scouted, and then, you know, you thought that was a fluke, but now it's kind of looking like, you know, not really.
These strategies that he's got planned for these maps are not working out so far, and this is his last life. He's got to get it together here. I think you just got to try and play macro. He looks so good with it on game 1, multitasking like an absolute legend. Why not try it again? This is potentially the final game of the series. We've got Hero on match point, and we're going into Apocalypse. So in the mid right, he is down 3-1, has to win here. It is Sharp.
And in the 12 o'clock position here, it is Hero.
So Apocalypse, really tough map to deal with mutas. So if he's going to go for some type of Valkyrie play, he needs to get it out really quick to shut that down immediately, because it can snowball out of control real fast on Apocalypse. I hope that he just plays normal. Maybe if he's not going to 2 racks here, Maybe just rush +1, you know, go eBay into 4 racks, something like that.
Yeah, that's kind of the build that he hasn't employed yet. He also hasn't just straight up 8 racks either. You know, we saw an 8 racks in game number 3, but that was like a very committed one. It's gonna be another depot. And so far, I mean, Hero has opened 12 hatch every single game, and you know, if there's one thing that we've seen Zerg struggle with in ASL in general, it has been with that 8 racks. And you know, Terrans like Rush, Terrans like Royal, they employ it to such great effect that, you know, you see Hero, I think, I don't remember what's, you know, you regularly see Zergs in these series games open overpool, open 9 pool. But look, Hero, he's not scared, man. He's just 12 hatching every single game. Like, that's one part of Sharp's play in this series that is not doing him any favor. Like, Hero has no fear of this 8 racks.
Indeed, another 12 hatch from him. He scouts first, he sees it's not an 8 racks. Of course, now Sharp's going to get first scout off here. I wonder if Hero will, I was going to say, is he going to do the 2.5 hatch again? But again, it's another 2-minute pool, 2-minute hatch. In fact, it's 157. Every second is a big deal in this matchup, or just in general across all the matchups.
12 o'clock is actually a really good mining spot for all the races, even though the minerals are laid out differently to the other bases. And this is some good optimization from Hero. 10 racks once again. No second depot though. Looks like Sharp's is going to go for a 15 command center, but he is queuing that Marine up.
And command center coming down. Is that okay? I thought that was, yeah, there's the SCV. I was like, wow, a second SCV being sent out, but it's actually just another Marine being sent out on the map. I feel like we've seen this every game. It really hasn't done much. I imagine maybe it forces 2 lings, and that's it. It's probably mostly going to be drones behind it. Now, what is Sharp? Again, another 2 racks, but the thing is the Overlord immediately saw it.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. You know, this is a pretty standard way to play, but it just hasn't been... Well, in the first game, he went for 2 racks, but I don't know, Nyoken. I feel like it's kind of difficult to see Sharp pulling through here after the past 3 games. Of course, the first game was the one where he played the most standard, so I think defaulting to that is good. Troy, he also 2 racks, but he didn't have a wall. He has a wall this time, so he's not going to die, so maybe this is the play right here.
This is a really fast academy, is it not? This is a 330 academy with a 305 gas. You got to cut for this, right? Like, this seems like it's going to be an extremely fast timing. Already cutting, you can see he's not building SCVs at his natural.
Yeah, he has cut a lot this with this opening because, you know, on a 15 command center, he made the Marine instead of an SCV as well. So Terran's definitely a bit low eco. This academy is going to be incredibly fast. That's the upside of 15 command center, is you can really rush that academy. And I mean, look, it's almost done here. So it's all about how much pressure this 2 racks move out can put on. Like, Hero's going to have to pre-build his creep colonies almost, but he does have full vision, like, given the spawning position.
Well, one thing that I have noticed with Hero's play is up until, what was it, I guess last game, I think, he was building his 3rd base or 3rd hatch on location, right? And that's exactly what we see here at mid left. So getting this fast academy, maybe this time with it being so quick, he can actually go out there and kill that base. Of course, with it being also so fast, maybe he can just outright kill Hero, because I don't see colonies being built. A medic is already out. It's not been spotted, I don't think, just yet. Here we go.
He's gonna push out, probably queued fire bats behind this. No, okay, he's not gonna commit. And well, Hero, he's I want to take a look at the Zerg's natural. That's only 1 creep colony. Sharp really would love to force 2 at the very least.
Oh, Lings got caught. I mean, Marines got caught. At least they stem, and one of them ends up managing to be saved.
Yeah, I think this is not going well for Terran at all. He even made double fire bat here, but wasn't able to pressure the map at all. And now he has to get into this defensive posture here. He also doesn't know where the third base from Zerg is. This is kind of an ideal situation for Hero. Like, he didn't have to make 2 sunks. He didn't even have to morph that creep colony. He saved a lot of money. The third hatch went down before any of this move out happened. Look at that, third hatch is already finished. Like, this is a dream scenario for Zerg.
Literally just took the words out of my mouth. This could not have gone better for Hero here. He stalls the push. Terran does nothing with it. He's going to lose a depot. And behind this, what's the follow-up? There's no tech either. There's no third racks. I think maybe he just not know. He didn't even start his third racks yet.
Yeah, these games are suddenly just looking like train wrecks for Sharp. There's no other way to put it. And he's losing a lot of SCVs now. Zerg has full control of this game. Without the third racks, he doesn't really have that much production either. Like, Terran should be outside of his Nat right now, just forcing the Meadows back by moving his Marines out onto the map, but he's just defending, and I think this game's already kind of done, Nyoken. Terran's in a really rough spot. 650, we haven't started a factory, I think?
Yeah, there's no factory. The third racks just started also, so there's not even, you know, the ability to pump out a lot of units to get out onto the map. Like I said, it's Apocalypse. He can just hold this position right here where he snipes the turret over and over and just snipes the SCVs over and over. That was a pretty good trade for Sharp there. Gets a Muta, does a lot of damage, but there's not really much else going well for him.
Yeah, I mean, Sharp's build just, I don't know, like he went for that 10 racks, but then went for a 15 command center and got the Marine out first. Like, his eco is really shot. You can see why it's just so hard for him to afford anything. He's losing all his SCVs as well. Meanwhile, I mean, Zerg cruise controlled that optimization, and that's it, man. That's gonna be it, dude.
Yeah, this is the last ditch effort.
He has no medics.
He has no medics. He has less Marines than I think there are Mutas. It's 11 versus, what is it, 11? Yeah, goodbye medic. You can't just wander off by yourself. SCVs are gonna get picked off.
And Hero, you know, he's really happy right now. He just gets to dance to his mutas. This is Zerg's wet dream. Just do whatever he wants with his mutas, kill everything. Sharp can't push, Sharp can't pull back. I mean, the last 2 games have just been kind of embarrassing, honestly. It's really unfortunate because he's been playing so well all tournament long, and for it to end in this way, really, I feel for him. And in this position, I mean, you know, his heart's definitely synced in, man. Like, this is not how you want to go out.
This is going to be the last engagement. The Marines, not enough. This is going to be it for Sharp. He has nothing. There's way too many mutas. His econ's trash. There's no tech follow-up. The bunker just gets immediately jumped on by the Lings and mutas. And that means we're going to have Hero in the finals for the first time in like almost 15 seasons.
This is such a hype moment here for Hero. Definitely deserves it. I mean, he's been the best performing player, honestly, in the ASL. Just so many round of 4s, consistently a seeded player, consistently doing well. And Hero's done it, man. 4-1 here against Sharp in absolutely dominating fashion, despite that, you know, that slow start, 0-1.
Indeed, I think, you know, based on the first game, Sharp just was on the money. I was like, holy smokes, this is it. He's bringing it today. But Hero recovered well from game 1, didn't let it phase him at all. And every other game afterwards, it was the Hero show. First on Troy with the Lings. Then, what was it? Retro, the perfect counter to the 1-1-1. Game 4, you're playing Valkyrie Man with no Marines? Well, that's a mistake. Let's fight. And just too much stuff, and pretty much the same thing happened here. Not necessarily a Valkyrie opener, but the low eco and the Marines didn't do any damage at all in the beginning. I mean, you just can't recover after losing so many SCVs also. And we gotta sign the camera, baby.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. An absolute Chad, man. Hero, I'm so happy he's doing well. I'm honestly, I'd be so hyped. I really want Hero to win this season. I mean, Hero or honestly any of the 3 players remaining, Hero or Snow or Sulky, I think any of them winning would be absolutely amazing. Sulky winning it twice would be amazing as well. Yeah, but I don't think there's a more deserving player, honestly. This guy has always been good.
For sure. You look at like the past 5 seasons, it's just round of 4 every single time. There are a lot of storylines for all the players, right? If Sharp wins here and gets into the finals, he would have been first time in 16 seasons. Same thing for Hero, first time in almost 16 seasons also. If Snow goes to the finals, it's the first time for him in a long time also. And it would be his first championship if he potentially wins it. And then, of course, back-to-back for StRyKeR, like you said. I mean, this is one of the best round of fours ever. And we do have our first finalist with Hero being there. So Zerg, again, has made it to the finals.
Yeah. So, I mean, Hero's just playing so well today. And can't, again, I think Sharp just fell apart after game number 1. Like, every other game was just kind of, it wasn't even Hero doing anything. It was kind of Terran's build orders just weren't there. Like, he wasn't really doing the build orders. I mean, with this 2 racks opening, you want to have 3 racks by this time. He has only 2 with the Valkyries. You want to have 3 racks. He had only 2. He got completely wiped by Mutaling when, Valkyries are designed to kind of counter that. And then, Troy and Retro didn't really go in his way either. So Hero, once he got dialed in, man, there was no stopping him. And it's such a shame because Sharp looked like such a god on game number 1.
He did, for sure. Like, if you took away the nameplates, I 100% would have guessed that this is either Rush or Flash, because it really did look like Rush in the sense because Rush is attacking like 5 areas at the same time. He's one of the best multitaskers on the planet. And then if it's not Rush, I would have definitely defaulted to Flash because that's how well he was playing. But Sharp's run does end, but you still got to be feeling really good about top 4. To go top 4 after being something like a round of 24, round of 16 player, I mean, that's a huge jump. So going into the next season, I got really high hopes for Sharp. A bunch of people on Team Liquid were saying, Sharp, don't discount him. And, well, definitely shouldn't have because he played extremely well this season.
Yeah, but it's going to be up to him to kind of duplicate that. I mean, he is going to have a seed going into next season, so
that's
going to start up. Yeah, I mean, round of 16 already.
Yeah, not only do you avoid the round of 24, but, you just get directly placed into the ASL, right? That means you also get to avoid qualifiers, and qualifiers are not easy either. Like we saw Queen not even make it into ASL. Like that tells you how hard it is. Well, with our remaining match, Snow versus StRyKeR, I gotta ask you, regardless of who comes out of the bottom side, can they beat Hero? Hero's best matchup is ZVP. And then everybody memes on StRyKeR's ZVZ. Is he the guy to beat?
Well, dude, I was saying this like since the round of 8 was drawn.
He's just going the whole way.
Well, I guess I was saying that since he beat Rush. Rush was the biggest obstacle, I think, for Hero so far. And, well, Snow's been playing out of his mind. But PVZ has always been his downfall, and he has to win against the 2 best ZVPers. So, I don't know, man. And then StRyKeR, StRyKeR has clutched it out ZVZ recently, especially in the ASL. That's how he won that. Was it did he play any ZVPs last season? I remember ZVZs. I remember he has had a good ZVZ series recently, to where you can at least confidently say he's probably not, what's it called, cursed. But
I think every season StRyKeR plays a ZVC, at least from what I remember. Yeah, last season he played versus. Okay, actually he lost to Kong.
Last season he did play Hero, and he did win versus him.
Okay.
In the group stage, 2-1.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Okay, so that would be a match. Yeah, and then afterwards, I guess there were no more ZVZs, but I do remember StRyKeR consistently playing ZVZ, and he does quite well.
Well, we'll see.
We will see indeed. We're getting player interview, of course. I'm sure he's ecstatic about his victory. I'm sure they're asking about how he feels after, being gone from the finals for... When was ASL season... What was it, 4 is what they said? That was 5 years ago or something crazy.
Yeah. That was a long time ago. But also, there's a lot of ASLs if you think about it.
I know this is season 17 now.
Yeah, and that's just 5 years, like 6 years, like since Remastered came out, I guess.
Damn, Remastered came out 6 years ago?
No, it came out 8 years ago.
8 years ago? What year am I in? It came out in 2016. Are you serious?
Didn't it? I'm pretty sure.
Okay, it came out in 2017, but even that is older than I thought it was. I thought it was like 2018 or 19, man. It's already been 7 years. The heck?
Yeah, time flies, dude, and you're an old man.
Not as old as Artosis, though.
Yeah, could be worse.
Oh, I remember hearing on Artosis' stream that actually Lancer is even older than Artosis. Dang, man. I mean, we got a ton of old timers playing. Wait a minute. Okay, I am on the right screen. We're getting a look at the finalist info. As you can see, it's been 13 seasons since he's been in the finals. It's season 4. I'm trying to see Zerg finalists, of course, Effort, Queen, and now Hero are the only people that have done it twice. Okay, and then in season 16, of course, it says Sulky, and then we have now Hero in the finals. So back-to-back seasons with a Zerg in the finals. And that gives us, that leads us into our next semifinals, which is going to be tomorrow, a best of 7 between Snow. For those of you out there that don't know, Snow is on absolute tear these days. He cannot be beaten in PvT. Of course, this is PvZ, though, where a lot of Zergs really excel at, but he's really, really, really good. But Sulky, there's a reason he's a champion from last season. He's really freaking good. There's a reason he's called the Iron Defense, or the Iron Wall. Like, his defense is immaculate. I can still remember the game. What was it? It wasn't Nemesis. Was it Nemesis? I don't think it was Nemesis. It was that blue map last season that Minnie and him played on, where it was like a super epic long game, like 40 or 50 minutes split map. Do you know the one I'm talking about? It has the back base behind your natural, the third base. It's kind of like a semi-island. What was that map freaking called, man?
Yeah.
Yeah, what? You don't know the map?
Campanella.
Yeah, La Campanella, exactly. That map. That was an epic game.
Yeah. I don't remember, dude.
Well, you weren't here to cast. If you were here to cast, you would remember.
Yeah, true. If I was here to cast, it would have been seared into my memory.
Well, I want to know what the maps are. Maybe Liquipedia's already got them listed. What's the map order going to be? We knew what it was going to be for this semifinals. I think I went back to season 16, so let me bring up 17.
Dark Origin, Retro, Blitz, Citadel, Troy, Radion, Apocalypse.
Okay, we got Troy, 5th map. Chances
Snow picked map set 1, 3, and 5. Damn, he picked Dark Origin?
And he picked Troy.
Well, yeah, Troy is like the best Protoss map right now. Well, yeah. Troy and Blitz.
Yeah, I actually think a lot of the maps are good for Protoss. Oh, okay, here we go. We got to bring it up. This is the last screen of course, last screen of the day, caster screen.
Yeah. Well, you're going straight to work after this?
Well, I accidentally let the music slip through, so I'm editing the video again. Man, VLC is getting me, man, with the...
Yeah, you got to add the spoiler stuff, too.
The spoiler stuff?
Yeah, he's in the, yeah,
one of those... the anti-spoiler.
The anti-spoiler, man.
I mean, people have been requesting it, but, you know, Cruiser runs YouTube. I don't know a lot about YouTube, but he tells me that can't add the spoilers because it messes with the algorithm if people only watch a certain section of the video and don't watch the other section of the video. Somehow that messes up the algorithm. You know, I don't know if that's a conspiracy theory or what that is, but that's the reason that it's not going to be added.
Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Because there's all these metrics and stuff and whatever. Yeah, you got to maximize your metrics, man. Like, comment, and subscribe. Mm-hmm. Watch the whole damn video.
Indeed, even this cutout right here.
Yeah, even this part here.
The guy rant. Everybody wants to hear guys' hot takes on certain subjects. I think the most absurd hot take is still the Flash only won because he just abused builds. I mean, that's up there. That's up. That's in this. You may call that an Askia take, but that was an absurd take.
Someone's got to say something spicy, man.
Indeed.
What else? I mean, what else am I going to say? Yeah, Flash is the GOAT. Okay, he's the GOAT.
Of course.
What about Flash would get smacked if he came back now?
Well, you know, I think Flash would go into Super Saiyan mode. He would really grind hard if that was the case. But, you know, if he did come back right now, Snow's really good. All the Zerg players are really good. I could see that being legitimate statement. Light's really good, even though he got smacked. Oh, yeah, by the way, Did you check out the Shuttle versus Light video that Jinjin made?
No.
Oh, you need to watch that.
Did he just post it?
Yeah, he just
posted it. Oh, he did. Yeah, he just posted.
You got to watch that, man, because
when do you want me to watch this, dude? I just woke up.
Well, I watched it last night while you were playing.
Well,
but you should watch that.
I was busy playing an APL.
You should watch that. The pro gamer takes on other pro gamers. I mean, they are brutal, man. They were really railing on Shuttle. Apparently, Hyuk is a massive anti-Shuttle fan. Even what was it? Terror called it out. Chulgu, he called it out. He's like, dude, how far of a lead does Shuttle need to have for you to be thinking that he's gonna win? I mean, they were really going into him.
I mean, I remember we were casting it like, you know, even we were like, is Shuttle really gonna win this? I mean, it looked so bad for Terran for so long, but you just couldn't count it out. Like, you remember that Troy game?
I know
that game was over forever ago, and then I was like, well, I don't know, maybe it's Light versus Shuttle after all.
You know, I've thought about that game actually quite a bit, because I think in that video I made a statement like, man, I wish Light had done what he usually does. You know, he camps or he plays like a sniper build like on Troy. Like he's the one that wanted Troy, by the way. He let it get through. And when he went 6-fact, I was like, you know, man, that's weird to play 6-fact on a weird map like this. But I thought about it more and more, and you know, maybe 6-fact is actually a dangerous build there, because the opponent expects you to play a weird build and then you just play a solid timing and it catches you off guard. And also in Light's defense, also he got vertical spawns where if he gets to the middle and gets on the high ground, well, how are you stopping a 6-fact with Terran on high ground and the rush distance being, you know, that tiny?
Dude, all we're missing is a solid microphone. I want to hold a microphone while I'm casting.
Yeah, get a shirt or something, right? Those you need to bring up right directly.
I can't even bring yeah, that one, yeah.
Well, that is it today, guys. We are gonna be cutting over to the end of the cast. I actually missed the exit intro, but thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.
Have a good one, guys.